Cool. So here we are with Mr. Free Agent himself, Ammari. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, brother. You?
Yeah, not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. So training, talk to me. So we're coming out of lockdown. How's your training been holding up throughout like quarantine and everything?
To be honest with you, I've been back training for the past 2.5 months. Obviously, the first month or so, no training. It was just the normal cycling, running here and there, a bit of shadow boxing. That was about it. And then my trainer said we got guidelines about professional athletes being able to train again. So that was it, man. As soon as he got that little email saying we can do that, give me the keys to the gym, and then that's it, man. We've been back grinding non-stop, So in my opinion, I feel stronger, fitter. My mindset's completely different to what it was previous, So quarantine's been a blessing and a curse at the same time, So it's done me a lot of good. It's given me time to just think about what I really want in life, where I want to be within this sport, and there's things like that, man. So it's been good, man. It's been good.
It's interesting the way you sort of phrase that kind of reflection time and sort of spending it, okay, not sort of sulking, waiting for the gyms to reopen, but kind of like taking a sort of look back at where you're at and where you want to go. Like, what sort of changes are you going to make going forward then? Is there anything in particular that really sort of stood up to you?
Changes going forward, me, it's always been I think fighting, it is 90% mental. You know what I mean? And if your head's not there, if your mindset's not right, then a lot of things are gonna get in the way. Like your outside life might get in the way, or just anything, family, misses, money, whatever. So I think to me, I always had a lot of those things in the back of my head. Like a lot of my friends are making a lot of money, doing this, they're going on holidays, living lavish, and I'm here training, and I'm not really seeing a lot of it. So I think for me, it really was a time to just sit back and just think of, just dig deep, work hard, and when it comes, it comes. You can't rush the process at the end of the day. A lot of people try and rush the process to try and think, okay, by this age, I want to make this amount of money, or I want to be this person at this age. But the reality of it is, it happens when it happens. You know what I mean? So for me, it's being that, just keep my head down, do what I need to do, and it will come when it comes. You know what I mean?
I mean, with that in itself, it's really important having those kind of conversations because, again, in a very sort of materialistic kind of generation, a lot of people are very much like flashing up what they've got, social media especially. And it's good to try and take a step back and say, okay, that's what they're doing. This is what I'm doing. My time's going to come and when it comes. And it's good having that kind of, I don't know, that mindset. And now getting that mindset, is it something you've developed yourself? Is it something you've had to speak to people about to really sort of, I don't know, try and get your calibration as such, try and get your feet where you need
I'm about to develop it myself. At the end of the day, I've never been someone that's been flashy. Yeah, it's good to have the nice thing. It's good to have money in your pocket. You know what I mean? It's good to have money to, in a sense, you feel comfortable, you feel secure. So I think me having money, if I start making our money, it'll be good to have, because I know then I can literally just focus fully on training. My mind is not gonna stray elsewhere. Literally just gonna be me, get into the gym, do what I need to do, go home, come back to the gym. You know what I mean? But as far as materialistic things, I've never really been a guy. I'm not a guy that's gonna go out there. Let's say got 20 grand in a fight. I'm not gonna go out there and spend 15 grand on a watch. That's not me. I've always, if I make money, when I start making money, it's always been to invest. Let's put it into this so I can make this back, or let's put it into this so I can make this back. I've never been that guy that's thought, cool, the first time I made 5 grand, then we're gonna spend 2.5 grand on trainers, 2.5 grand on jeans or a shirt. You know what I mean? That's not me personally. I'm not interested in that. I will wear a tracksuit and that's it. As long as I'm in the gym, I'm happy.
There's nothing wrong with a tracksuit. For everyone listening, there's nothing wrong with tracksuits. You got to get comfy.
Bro, listen, tracksuits all day, man. Listen, that is me. I just live in a tracksuit. I'm going to the gym. I'm coming home. I don't need to put on jeans. I don't need to impress anybody. I'm waking up. Bro, I'm saying, I'm thinking like, I'm seeing guys come to the gym dressed up to the nines, man. I'm thinking you're going to sweat and come home. So I'm not interested in that. Tracksuit living all day for me, mate. All day, every day.
It's what we need. It's what we need. And what you're saying there is quite interesting. Again, that kind of transition, that money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, but more a sense of it gives you that sort of security, that kind of stability, that chaos. It's not something I'm worrying about. That factor is sort of taken out. But do you find you'll get the same level of efficiency in your training if you're not that busy, not that kind of, I don't know, because you get people who still work full time, still train full time, and like being that kind of overwhelmed, kind of busy. Do you feel you'll be able to, I don't know, keep the same level of intensity up if something else kind of, I don't know, you lose one of your many like things going on? Do you reckon you'll be able to distribute that sort of energy, or
I'll
is it a
put it,
case of, oh,
I know a lot of guys, a lot of my teammates do have jobs, and you do see them. Some weeks they are going to be in all the time, some weeks they're not. And I feel like for me, I'm not in the sport to participate. I'm here to be the sport I want to take over at the end of the day. And I feel like a lot. And yes, it's good to have that stability and have a job because worst case scenario, you got something to fall back on. But for me, it's more than that. This is my passion. This is what I live to do. And you're always gonna have the people and like your family members, your missus saying, "Look, just get a job. We need this to have. You need to be secure, have this stability in your life." But me, in the back of my head, I'm thinking I don't want to do that. In a sense, it's not me being big-headed. I just know exactly what I want, and I know how much I have to work in order to achieve that. I don't know one world champion that has had a job and got to where he's got to. He's got to that stage because he's literally lived in the gym. Look at Mayweather, he's lived in the gym. Look at, I don't know, even people like Ronaldo. They've literally just lived and dedicated themselves to the craft to be able to get to where they want to get to. You know what I mean? And that's my thought and everything. I'm not here to partake in the sport. I literally want to become a legend and be the sport. You know what I mean? I want people to look at him like, you know, I want to be like him. And I feel like having a job, it kind of puts you on the back seat a bit. Don't get wrong. There's a lot of guys that are world class, but I don't think they get to the legendary status because they can't just put the time in. You know what I mean? It's not their fault, but a job is gonna kind of put you on the back seat sometimes. I mean, you could have a specific session you need to be in, but you can't because you got to be in for work. You know what I mean? So it's just little things like that, man. I think every hour counts in this game. Really does.
I mean, that is really sort of prominent as well, that kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of mentality. Again, it works for different people, but again, a lot of people, much like yourself, have that same kind of, I don't know, sort of mindset in the sense of, okay, I'm either all in or I'm all out. I'm not going to sort of make up the numbers. I'm not here just to sort of, get a couple of pictures of my Instagram. No, I'm here to make a
Nah,
name for
bro, not
myself.
man.
I'm here
Nah,
to
I'm here,
do
bro.
this.
Yeah.
And again, it's important having that kind of, I don't know, that awareness that, okay, yes, getting a job will sort out the bills and this, that, and the other, but what's more important to me at this point? What can I do? Can I get
I want
sponsors?
more. I want to
Exactly.
be. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. Cause I am. When it's all said and done, I'm not really trying to be on my deathbed thinking I could have been this. Why didn't I do that at the time? Why did I miss out on this because of this? You know what I mean? Where I feel like if people get a 9 to 5 job, you're not happy in that job. You're just a statistic. You're just part of a number. You're literally doing it to get by. I want more than that. I don't just want. I've not just been born to get by in life. I've been born to make a name for myself. You know what I mean? To make sure my family and my family after that are living secure. And 9 to 5 isn't going to do that. I'm just like as cocky as and arrogant as it sounds. I don't think it's going to do that. You know what I mean? So for me, this is my mission. This is my goal. I need to be the best fighter I can be and reach that legendary status. So I could look after my family and then my family after that and then the next generation. You know what I mean? That's the aim.
And that in itself is really interesting. The fact that throughout this so far, your main, I don't know, factors have been making your name for your family as a whole, and this sort of general thing of, okay, this is more than just me. This is more than just what I want to do. This is for everyone around me. And again, it is interesting. So when it comes to your fights and your training in itself, like camps, for example, how much of your motivation throughout that is based off of, okay, I need to do this for them, or is it a lot all for you as such when you're putting yourself through this?
Bro, I'd say it's like 60-40, man, for my family. You know what I mean? For me, a lot of guys in this game because they want to be 5-time world champion and so on and so forth. But I think there's more to it than just being a champion. There's a lot of champions that have been here and you don't know about them. You know what I mean? So for me, it really is more than that. And as long as I can get to the stage I want to get to, that's what it is for me, man. Yes, it's going to be great becoming a 4-time or 5-time world champion, but you can't just that surely cannot just be your only inspiration. You know what I mean? Because once you've got the belt and you sat back, it's just an object. There's nothing there. There's nothing to it. There's no meaning to it. At the time, yes, but family is everything, man. So yeah, I'm doing it for my family and for my future family. That's what it's about.
And again, that's so prominent what you just said there. That your belt, when you get your belts, they're nice, but they're just belts. It has got no external meaning other than to you. Like, if you go and buy one of those belts online, hey, I've got the same belt I'll get if I win.
Bro, you can buy a belt online, mate. Literally, yeah, you can buy a belt online.
Exactly. And it's good that you've got that kind of awareness still that, okay, this is more than just the status, more than just the titles as such. It's more than that. It's the whole, it's what it brings with it. And with that being said, then, what would be enough for you? Because again, you're saying the world titles aren't enough. That, it's just a title, which is what it is. Is it like constant progression? Is it like an ongoing thing? Is it like a definitive kind of, okay, when I make this amount, I'm going to hang up my gloves. I made my money, get in, get out. What is your mindset with how far you want to go
My
with it?
goal is literally as long as I can be the best fighter I can possibly be, because everyone's got a limit, no matter who you are. So as long as I can achieve that and inspire along up and coming kids, motivate people along the way, that's all that matters, man. You know what I mean? Like even now, I've got a lot of people that are messaging me on Instagram saying, "Listen, you give me that motivation to do this. You're inspiring me." I never like when I started out on this journey, I didn't think I was gonna have kids messaging me saying, "You know, you inspire me." Bear in mind, I'm no one in this game right now. I'm a little fish in a big pond right now in this game. So to have people message you say, "You listen, you're motivating me, you're inspiring me," mate, that's the best feeling ever. So as long as I can be the best fighter I can be and just get my name out there and just spread it throughout the box, mate, that's good enough for me, man, at the end of the day.
And again, it goes back to what you were saying at the start about how it's like for your family and for those around you. And again, even outside of that circle, it's the people who are your fans, people who support you, people who want to, I don't know, they get something from you, get that inspiration, they get that kind of motivation. Now, with your training partners, in a sense, how do you find, I don't know, being selfish when you need to? Because again, having that kind of empathetic nature of thinking, okay, I want to do well for those around me, I want everyone to grow, but then also being competitive, thinking, okay, yes, we're sparring, yes, we're teammates, but it's my dream versus your dream. I've got to work hard. I've got to work harder than you. Then you also want to push them. Like, how do you find that kind of divide somewhere?
I don't really think it's the vibe. Like, see, in our gym, Thursday mornings, we get a lot of guys coming from all over the country. You know what I mean? We get guys coming from down south, up north, the Midlands, whatever. So it's, I think times like that, you have to be selfless in the sense of, cool, this is what I'm going to do. This is why I need to do this to you in order to win the round. It's not malicious, but I'm going to do this regardless because I need to have that in my head that I won this round and I know that I can do this to you. And then same with you next, when you change partner, I'm going to try this with you. So I don't think there's any divide, man. At the end of the day, if some people might look at it and think, oh, this is malicious, there's always going to be a divide between guys, the harder you spar. But I personally think is if you're in a fight game, you have to have that. You have to have that selflessness. You have to be very selfish at times, you know what I mean, to achieve what you want to achieve. That's just my point of view. You need to be very selfish in any as an athlete in general, whether you're a combat sports athlete or football or golf or whatever, you have to have some form of selfishness in order to make it. Because yes, you've got your team around you, but it's also you as well. You have to know that you're putting in a certain amount of work and you have to do a lot of things to achieve what you want to achieve.
I mean, 100%. And where that question really sort of comes from, again, like even the name of like some of the rounds like Spar Wars, literally like you guys are going hard. But in the same sense of, okay, you're on your alert, this is your A game. Do you ever find the opportunities to then play around and play with like potentially like a B game, like a sort of C game, little other sort of styles you don't necessarily always go for primarily, or is it always okay? This is what I do. This is what I've tested. This is what works. This is what I'm going to keep doing and sharpening up. Like, where do you sort of sit with that?
I see me. I'm a very very good pressure fighter. Pressure's my A game. You know what I mean? My B game now it needs to be let me get on my toes a bit. Let me just try get hit less. You know what I mean? So right now that's what we're working on right now. Like I said, I've just finished training this morning, and that is what we've been working on, trying to be in and out, angle off more, and know when to pressure. You know what I mean? So like I said, I can pressure all day. It don't matter who you are. That's my game, and I can stalk anyone down. I know I can pressure you. Now's the time to work on that B game, that C game, and then combine everything into the A game, you know. So as of now, we know we can do the pressure, we know the fitness is there, the strength's there, the power's there. Now let's add some, let's add this, and then a month down the line, let's add this thing, and then another month we're gonna add something else. You know what I mean? So as of now, because no one's not really got any fights, you need to work on these dark horses, you know. So that's what we're doing right now.
I mean, as well, just for variety of nothing else, because again, doing it so long and doing it so like consistently, like mentally must be so quite draining and quite taxing. How do you find keeping it, I don't know, interesting as well? Because again, as much as it is something you're very passionate about, something you're all invested in, sort of rinse and repeat, it's very much the same with the same sort of thing all over again. How do you find keeping it, I don't know, keeping stimulated and you still training so frequently?
To be honest with you, I've been in this game since I was 11 years old, and the quarantine is probably the only time I've actually had time off. And I'll be so honest with you, like the last 2 years, I've been like, it's just been lethargic, like sparring. I've not really enjoyed sparring because I was, it's like, cool, so it's another week, let's just spar again, or it's another pad session. I'm just doing it because it's just routine, and it literally is just normal. You know what I mean? It literally became a job where it's just, all right, cool, let me just wake up, let's go train, let's go spar, let's do this. So I think being off, it was refreshing, and then it just brought the hunger back, brought the eagerness back. And then also to just keep my mind stimulated, man. You have to just change up. Like now, I do boxing every morning now, so to get my hands even sharper, work on that footwork even more. And then in the evenings, then I'll do my Thai boxing. So that, and then obviously also do wrestling as well. So I've been doing wrestling now for the past year and a half, 2 years maybe. So doing things like that, man. You just gotta keep. It's just about competition. You know what I mean? Wrestling. I'm doing wrestling and I'm getting absolutely hammered. But now I'm reversing it. So I'm putting the pressure on now. So it's just little things like you always learn at the end of the day. If you're not learning in this game, you might as well leave it, man. You have to always learn. You can't win everything. You have to just be on the losing side sometimes in order to bring that eagerness back. And I'm thinking, you know what? I didn't do this right. I didn't do that right. So that's what it is, man.
I mean, with that in itself, I thought it was quite refreshing when I came down for that sparring session on Thursday, and I see you, professional kickboxer, striking all this, but then at the end of the session, you start grappling as well. I'm thinking, okay, this isn't something you're doing as your career. This is something you're doing in the deep end. You're going with pro MMA guys, and you're putting yourself in this sort of position. So I thought it was really quite refreshing to see. So how do you find? Where did that wrestling side come from? Then is that to try and develop your clinch game? Is that just for a bit of fun? What's that?
Me, no, it is. I think wrestling is the best cardio, man.
It's horrible.
It's just constant
It's so
work, man.
horrible.
It's just horrible, mate. So that in itself, you're thinking, it's just mentally draining. You're thinking, all right, cool, I gotta stay tense. He's gonna take me down. If he takes me down, then I've got to defend. I've got to make sure he doesn't choke me out or just get on top of something. It's just that, and I think fear is what pushes me. It's fear of just allowing someone to just literally get on top of you and just beat you up constantly. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what drives me. I think fear drives me a lot, especially with wrestling. You're thinking, if someone gets on top of me right now and I gas out, I'm gonna be lying there like a dead fish, mate. I can't do nothing. So it's that, and that's what it is. It just drives me, man. Just to, I don't know. Let's say with Jordan, very competitive. I know Jordan's gonna be able to sub me, but it's just me thinking, if I can get on top of you for even 5 seconds, mate, I'm gonna rub it in your face. So literally just that competitiveness, thinking, yeah, I've done this to you, or you've done this to me, or I'm not gonna allow you to sub me that time, or I'm not gonna allow you to take me down. So things like that, it's always this competition, man. It is just very competitive. That's what it is.
And again, what I like with that a lot is the way you sort of move the goalpost a bit. Because again, instead of getting like a definitive, I've won the round, you say, okay, I won that exchange. Like even though I'm against someone much more experienced, okay, I've got this much. And is that something you do in your own spars as such? Like when you're sort of kickboxing rounds, you're doing like, okay, I'm against this guy. He's got, I don't know, he's learned for spinning shit. I don't know. Like you want to try, okay, I want to make sure I clinch up with him, make sure he doesn't land any of these shots, that kind of stuff. Are you quite good at setting your own little goals for each round, or is it just trying to win overall?
Yeah, yeah. So like, we've got, say I've got a taller opponent who's a very good rangy fighter, good point scorer. It's gonna take you that 1 or 2 rounds to figure them out, and then once you've kind of figured them out, then you're gonna get into your game. I think, right, cool, I can't do this, but I need to do this. That guy on Thursday, Dean Patterson, very good,
Mm.
very sharp, awkward. My leg kicks won't work with him because he's very sharp and and the way he stands. So I threw my body kick instead, and my body kick was landing every single time, and it was working. So, but we took like 1 or 2 rounds to say, you know, cool, let me just lay off this and do that instead. So it's a chess game as well. It literally is a game of chess. So you have to be on it. You have to be looking and just thinking. You can't rush certain things. You know what I mean? Because I feel like with someone who's awkward and rangy, I tend to rush in because I just want to bully him. But then when I look back and I just relax with it, I was hitting him cleaner because I was more patient. I didn't rush in. So it's all down to that as well. Like I said, me being a pressure fighter as well, you don't have to just stalk someone and run in order to pressure them. You can actually stand your ground, be a bit fidgety, and just start inching forward off every shot. You know what I mean? So that's what I was working a lot as well on Thursday. So yeah, man, there's a lot of things that can be changed and added.
And with your sort of training outside of the sort of usual pads and sparring and everything else, are you quite I don't know, how do you learn? Do you like to sort of go out and find something yourself? Is it, okay, I've got a problem, let's figure out how to solve it? Like, what's your, I don't know, how do you decide what you're going to work on as such?
I'll be honest with you, my trainer, he's onto me because he watches a lot. He's so he'll see what mistakes I'm making before I make them at the end of the day. So I think you need to have that good head coach to tell you exactly what you need to do and where your mistakes are. Because I could say I'm doing this wrong, but then he said, no, it's not that, it's this. And then when you look at it, you're thinking, yeah, it actually is that. So I think it literally is, it's down to my head coach, man. But obviously, as the years go on, the more experience you get, you're going to see your own mistakes. And then you're going to be able to think quicker and say, cool, let me change this now without your coach being there. But as of now, head coach, man, he's there and he sees what I need to do, what I can do, what I can't do, what I should be doing, you know. So as of now, yeah, my trainer is the reason that I'm learning a lot and seeing a lot, seeing certain openings, seeing things where I shouldn't be getting hit and where I should be hitting people. So I think that's the big thing.
Now, it's good to have that kind of relationship with your trainer, getting that kind of feedback and again, respecting what he's saying on top of what your own opinion is to try and get somewhere in the middle of, okay, this is what I'm seeing, this is what he's seeing. And somewhere in the middle is like where I need to be. Now, with that kind of, I don't know, you've got that perspective. Do you ever feel the need to train with other people to try and get other coaches' opinions? Or is it a case of, okay, this is my guy, he's made all of this effort with me, this is where I need to stay? Like, how do you find, I don't know, training with other people as well?
I'm open minded to it at the end of the day, but you always have to understand where your home base is.
Mm.
Like I said, my trainer, he's always said, listen, sometimes I'm gonna say certain things, but that guy could say it, but you're gonna listen to him more because it's a fresher face. You know what I mean? It's a different guy. So it's just, I think that's what it is. Like I said, I'm not naive and to think my trainer knows everything or he can do this and do that. You need to have certain people in certain places to tell you things. Like I said, I'm gonna do boxing every morning now. He's not telling me nothing different than what my trainer's telling me because it's a fresh face. And my trainer always said, because it's a brand new gym, you have that ego where you just want to impress. So I think as of now, my ego is helping me with my boxing because I want to impress that trainer and I want to progress more and show them, listen, look, I can do this and I'm good at that. So that's what it is. I'm open minded, man. If a coach comes in and says, "Oh, try this," I'll try it. If it doesn't work, cool. I'm not gonna try it again, but I tried it. So I'm not that guy that's gonna be like, nah, you know, you can't tell me nothing because you're not my trainer. You've not been there for 10 plus years. This and that. Nah, the game changes, man. Everyone has their input. You know what I mean? So that's me, man. I'm very open minded in this sport. I'm always willing to learn, no matter who it's from.
And again, the more this conversation goes on, the more impressed to how, I don't know, humble and sort of you got your feet in the ground with that kind of stuff. Because again, you get a lot of people who are like, okay, now I'm at this professional level. I have to train with elite guys who train the best of the best. No one's shy of X amount of world titles. I need to have these kind of people. And if someone says I'm doing something wrong, their opinion doesn't matter. And I still got those kind of credentials. But no, the fact you've got this kind of, I don't know, that understanding that, okay, I don't know everything, and that's okay. And you're aware of how you're feeling with certain things. Like you're aware with your ego sort of taking over, okay, I'm going to go in this new environment. I'm aware that I'm going to want to put it on the people I suppose. I'm aware I'm going to want to be a bit cleaner with what I'm doing to try and impress people. But the way you're doing that is, okay, if I do that, then I'm making more of an effort to train in a certain way. So again, it's this whole kind of, I don't know, self-critique and self kind of awareness. I don't know, it's really refreshing to hear that. Regards of what's next for you in your career and everything else, who makes those decisions? Is it something you make outright, or is it someone like a manager on behalf of you makes it for you? How do you find making those decisions?
Well, as of Glory, it literally is, like I said, my trainer is literally my manager. He's everything. So anything that fight-wise, it goes through him no matter what. And he knows, me being me, he knows I don't care. I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. So that's why people would always say to him, listen, we've got this fight. We know you're going to take it, but we're going to tell you just to say, cool,
Be
we got
nice,
this
yeah.
fight. Because they know we're going to take it
polite.
anyway. We don't care. It's just like, all right, cool, let's just be polite. We know you're going to take it anyway, but we've got to ask you. Same with my trainer, he'll be like, I don't know, last year I had opponents, and he said, listen, I know you're going to take the fight, but do you want to take it? I had an injury on my arm, and I'm still going to fight anyway, but I don't care. So he came up to me first and said, listen, I got this offer. I know you're going to say yeah, but I've just got to ask you, do you want to fight? I said, yeah, of course I want to fight. So more as far as me, career-wise, listen, mate, whenever Glory give me the call or the email, it's there, mate. There's nothing, there's no ifs or buts or, do I feel ready? I'm ready. Just give me the date, the person, and that's it. And we're good to go. I will sign the contract and we're there ready. Everyone knows that, my teammates know that. I'm just there to fight anybody, any kid. I don't care. That's what it's about. I'm not here to duck and dodge anybody. I'm here to fight everybody. At the end of the day, in order to be the best in this game, you literally have to fight the elite. You have to see where you fit in the food chain. Right now, I'm at the bottom of the food chain, but I need to build my way up. Slowly build up to be at the top of the food chain. So I'm going to fight everyone and anyone to get there.
I mean, again, it goes back to the whole thing of, okay, you're aware of where you're at, you know where you want to go, you know what you have to go through to get there. And that kind of acceptance of the situation and trying to understand how to really develop it. Again, it's so, that's refreshing hearing this kind of like genuine kind of response to the whole thing. Again, you get a lot of people with loads of layers of bravado and ego and everything else saying, oh, yeah, but so-and-so, all these excuses and that. But no, it's good that you've got this kind of, I don't know, down-to-earth awareness.
Nah, man, I've never been that guy, man. Nah, man, I literally, because in this game, everyone has a chance of beating you. It's not like boxing where you fight in a boom just to look good. You're fighting everybody and anybody, so anything can happen. You can be winning the fight for the 3 rounds. Last 10 seconds, you could get clipped, and that's the fight done. So you have to be humble in this game because you never know what's going to happen. You just always got to make sure you're ready to fight and ready to throw down when you need to throw down and ready to just do what you have to do. So yes, humbleness, it carries you, man. So I think being a Thai boxer and a kickboxer just gave me that discipline, gave me that awareness of life in general. You know what I mean? So it's good, man. It's good.
Awesome. Now, before I let you go and enjoy your rest of your day and probably training again another 2 or 3 times knowing you, where can people find
Man,
you on
listen, I've
social
got training
media?
again in an hour.
Of course you do. Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, but it's horrible.
For fuck's sake.
Instagram, Ammari Diedrick. Same again on Twitter, Ammari Diedrick. I was on Facebook, but I came off that because it's just pointless right now. So, yeah, man. Instagram, Ammari Diedrick, no space. Same again on Twitter.
Awesome. Links to those will be in the description. And this episode is sponsored by Fight Fuel UK. Be sure to check out fightfueluk.com for all your supplement and fight wear needs.